Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.
Welcome, everybody, to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. I am from Diamond Financial Group, located right there beside Poets on the Square, and we are officially into year 2 of Money in Motion, and I'm so excited to be here and very excited to have a man on the show today that I got to tell you all a little bit about. He truly is my mentor. He is my business partner. He is a man that I have looked up to for years and brought me into this business as an investment advisor and has encouraged me to get involved with programs like the American Financial Educational Alliance and the Dave Ramsey Smart Vestor Pro program, and so many other aspects of what I do are because of this man. He is the best money manager I know of and has just trained me extremely well in doing what we do in helping so many people. And the main reason I am doing the job that I'm doing is because it's really because of his concern for his clients. He wanted to make sure if something ever happened to him, or should he decide to retire in 15 or 20 years, that he had a backup plan and someone that could take care of his clients with the same moral values and fortitude and care that he does. And so he brought me on as a succession plan. It's been 5 years ago that we started talking and starting this process of bringing me on. In fact, it was this summer, this time of year, 5 years ago, is when we started this process of bringing me into this business. And so we're going to prepare and talk to you today about several different things, but they all kind of revolve around scams. There are some horrible people out there in the world that are, let me just back up and say, there's a lot of really good people out there, but the 3% or 2% or whatever the percentage is of bad people do a lot of harm, and they try to do a lot of harm. It's actually a very small number of people in the world that do these horrible things, but they are rampant in how much harm they try to do, because it just comes out of greed, and it comes out of an evilness, a sense of having no values and no character. And so we just want to warn you all, and so stay tuned and listen throughout this entire show. If you miss part of the show or you want to tune back in, we'll get this up on the internet within a week is my goal. And so you can go to moneyinmotionradio.com to listen to any of my shows, or if you just want to stop by Diamond Financial Group right there beside some more information and tell you about some of these schemes and scams that are out there. So, Darryl, how are you, sir?
Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
Outstanding.
And thanks for the kind words. Wow.
Well, I mean it, and you know it. I've told you to your face a dozen times, but I like to proclaim it publicly as well. I love you and Myra. They are a team for Diamond Financial Group. I have an assistant as well, and we have one other part of our team, Michael Townsley and Julie. But Darryl, I love you, brother, and I don't care to say that on the air, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your extremely busy schedule to be here to add some value to our listeners.
Well, thanks for having me on, Jason. Let me ask you, have you heard the old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is?
So many times.
So many times. And as many times as we've heard it, sometimes we tend to ignore it.
Yes.
So what brought this about, and you asked me a week or so ago, hey, I want to have you on the show. A friend of mine had come to me and asked my opinion about what I believe to be a scam, maybe even to the extent of a Ponzi scheme.
Wow.
But he didn't realize, matter of fact, when we sat down together, he was already asking questions what he was going to do with the money he was going to earn. But he wanted my opinion on the scam, I'll call it, and I'll tell you a little more about that in a few minutes. But it just really opened my eyes to how often, no matter how intelligent you are, how they feed on your vulnerability and weakness, and how easy it is to fall for some of these. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about the common scams and frauds that are out there today, the science of why we fall for scams, and how we can protect ourselves from being scammed. So I want to preface this with some scripture. In Proverbs 28, verses 19 and 20 in the New Living Translation, it says, "A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies ends up in poverty." In verse 20, "The trustworthy person will get a rich reward, but a person who wants quick riches will get into trouble."
Wow.
So I really want to emphasize that chasing fantasies ends up in poverty, and a person who wants quick riches will get into trouble. Just this week, or let me ask you, just in the last week, consider phone, email, social media, U.S. mail. Have you been attempted to been scammed once or twice in the last week?
Me personally?
You personally?
Actually, several times. And by all of those methods you just mentioned.
Okay. Well, none of us are immune to that. And I think all of us are almost bombarded on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
This is an email that I got 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I won't read the entire email, but it starts out, "Good day. My name is Mr. Rodriguez from LinkedIn Recruitment and am consulting for Diamond Financial Consultants Limited." Well, already in the first sentence, he misspelled consultants. How many of us introduce ourselves with Mr. or Mrs. or even start off as "good day"?
Right.
But I'm going to skip on down, and here's what he's attempting to lure me in with.
Okay.
It's a part-time job which you can do from the comfort of your home and would take less than an hour of your time daily, and this will come with 5% commission and $3,000 monthly salary. Now, I just did some quick math on that. On the $3,000 monthly salary, he's guaranteeing me $100 an hour at 1 hour a day if I work 7 days a week. If I work 1 hour a day for 7 days a week, that's $100 an hour to work from home without the 5% commission.
Wow.
And we still fall for that?
Right.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably
is. That's right.
And there's all sorts of misspellings in here. He didn't capitalize his I, apostrophe's missing in the doesn't. He ends with kindly. And I tell you, if you get anything that ends in kindly, just ignore it.
It's probably not kindly, right?
Right. So I want to go over start with the most common scams and frauds that are out there today. Number one, buying or selling. Scammers prey on consumers and businesses that are buying or selling products and services, and not every transaction is legitimate. I've done some advertising on LSN, and I've learned that I have to put in my ad, serious inquiries only, no scammers whatsoever. I literally have to say, do not attempt to scam me, and they still attempt to scam me.
Absolutely. And you know what, Darryl, because of time, and I'm so sorry, we're going to come back because this is important, and I want to spend some extra time on this with Craigslist and LSN. There's people all the time that are calling and doing crazy things. We're going to touch on this more right after a word from our sponsors. You've been listening to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy, right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
I'm Mark Miller, and I approve this message.
Hey, everybody, this is Jason Murphy, and I want to take just a minute to tell you about a good friend of mine, Mark Miller, who is running for Cookeville City Council. I've literally known Mark all his life as we went to church together, and I saw him grow up. I can tell you that he has become a man of integrity, he is a family man, and he's a man that cares about the future of Cookeville. Specifically, I look forward to having Mark on our city council because he is young, he is forward-thinking, and he cares about the future of our city. I really encourage you to get out there and vote on August 2nd or show up for early voting starting July 13th. Mark Miller for Cookeville City Council.
I'm Mark Miller, and I'm running for Cookeville City Council. I believe in a quality of life for all stages of life.
Hi, everybody. This is Jason Murphy, your host on Money in Motion, right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. And I'm excited to introduce a sponsor that is an amazing friend of mine, Dr. Ken Schmidt-Matzen and Pam from Cookeville Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, located right there beside the Justice Center and beside where J.J. Jack's used to be. A lot of you are familiar with that area. And I have to tell you that I have seen Dr. Ken and Pam going back for 28 years. They are good personal friends of mine, but the services that they offer there are amazing. Dr. Ken is one of the best chiropractors that I know, and I have seen him over and over for neck pain, for back pain, for issues with my hips, where I've had car crashes and different things that have taken place in my life, and he's always been able to get me straightened out and back active the way I like to be with my boys, going climbing and hiking and running and playing. So I encourage you to stop by and see Dr. Ken if you have any issues with your spine, with your neck, neck, back, legs. He can check you out and get you taken care of. Now, Pam is an amazing physical therapist. I can tell you, I just had knee surgery just a month ago, and I've already completed the turkey trot this past November, which was amazing that I was able just a few weeks after knee surgery, and Pam was able to help me get rehabilitated extremely quickly to get back out there and lead the active life that I enjoy. Also, they have a new nutritional program that is amazing to help you get in the right physical shape that you need to. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're just trying to get healthier, but you're not sure what type of nutrients your body needs, they can take care of all those needs right there at Cookeville Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, located right there beside the Justice Center in Cookeville.
Congratulations, you found a home for sale that interests you on the internet.
Is it really as great as you think it is?
Is the asking price in line with the current market values?
Will owning this home allow you to continue enjoying life as you know it?
Are there more homes in the area you may like better? To unlock the mystery of home buying, you need a professional realtor. You need the Wilson team at the Realty Firm. Our experienced and highly trained team of realtors will take the guesswork out for you.
Buying a home is a process, and the Wilson team at the Realty Firm will walk with you every step of the way, making your needs our top priority.
The only house we want to help you buy is the one you can be proud of.
The one you can call home knowing you took every step to ensure it will bring joy to you and your family for years to come.
Call Darren Wilson at the Realty Firm at 931-520-7750 or find them at www.therealtyfirmagent.com. The Wilson team will put you on the path to owning the right home for you.
Just over 11 years ago, my wife and I went on our first date. We ended the evening by going to a little coffee shop here in Cookeville, just catty corner of the courthouse, named Poets. We sat down and enjoyed an amazing cup of coffee. We enjoyed the company with each other, getting to know each other. That ended up leading to us being married less than 6 months later and having been married for the last 10 years. It all started at Poets, right there, catty corner of the courthouse. For one of the best cups of coffee in Cookeville, I highly encourage you to stop by Poets on the Square or their other location on the north end of South Jefferson Avenue. Poets Coffee, a great place to take your next date or just enjoy a cup of coffee. Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, right there beside Poets on the Square. Stop by and see me for any of your investment advice needs. If even you're trying to get out of debt or whatever, I'll be glad to set you up on a plan, but really would like to help you get started investing. The main thing stopping you from investing is starting. So we're back with Darryl Philips, and we were talking about some scams, and he was just talking about placing ads on like a Craigslist or an LSN, and how he has had to specifically put a disclosure or disclaimer in there saying serious inquiries only, and you still get knuckleheads that are calling trying to scam you. Go ahead, Darryl.
Yeah, so we started off talking about the common scams and frauds, and number one being buying or selling. Number two, oddly enough, is dating and romance. Scammers take advantage of people looking for romantic partners, often via dating websites, apps, and social media, by pretending to be prospective companions, and they play on emotional triggers to get you to provide money and gifts or personal details.
Wow.
Fortunately, I do all my dating and romance at home.
That's right. Praise God.
Still
I do
get
too.
scammed every once in a while, but no, I'm joking. Hopefully my wife didn't hear that.
No. She will now.
Number three, fake charities. So scammers impersonate genuine charities and ask for donations or contact you claiming to collect money after natural disasters or major events. And I think it was this week, I caught a piece on one of the news channels. A couple had scammed millions of dollars out of victims of Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
I didn't listen to all about it. It was really just disgusting.
Yes.
But this goes on all the time. Number four, investments, our area of expertise. If you're looking for a fast way to make money, watch out. Scammers have invented all sorts of fake money-making opportunities to prey on your enthusiasm and get a hold of your cash.
Right.
So we all probably know about now the Jeff Gentry Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
That was perpetrated out of Sparta, Tennessee. It was something north of $40 million.
Right.
And from my understanding, it was promising something like 8% a month.
Right. Guaranteed
8% a month. The friend that consulted with me last week about, and this was an out-of-state contractor doing bridge loans, was guaranteeing, or is guaranteeing, this is going on now,
okay,
9% every 3 weeks. That's 155% a year guaranteed. Bells should be going off really loud here.
Right.
So watch out for the investment schemes and scams. Number 5, jobs and employment. Jobs and employment scams trick you into handing over your money by offering you a guaranteed way to make fast money or high-paying job for little effort, just like the email that I was sent this week.
Right.
Number 6, threats and extortion. Scammers will use any means possible to steal your identity or money, including threatening your life or hijacking your computer. Now, a couple weeks ago, over the span of about a week, I received about 5 phone calls, a recorded message, and I actually Googled the number and found out a scam that was being perpetrated where they were trying to scare you or some information.
And I've done that several times, Darryl. So that's just a tip for the listening audience. If you get a phone number come across your phone and you don't recognize it, ignore it. Google that number, and it's amazing what you can find out about organizations out there trying to scam you.
So number 7, unexpected money. Scammers invent convincingly and seemingly legitimate reasons to give you false hope about offers of money. There are no get-rich-quick schemes, so always think twice before handing over your details or dollars.
Right.
And number 8, unexpected winnings. Don't be lured by a surprise win. These scams try to trick you into giving money up front or your personal information in order to receive a prize from a lottery or competition that you never entered.
Yeah, I was sitting with, and some of what you have mentioned, it's been almost a year ago, I had Chris Sapp, the computer doctor, on the air, and he told about a scam of an elderly woman that won a free car, $25,000 car. All she had to do was pay the towing bill up front, a meager $2,500 for the towing bill, which, shoot, I'd give $2,500 for a $25,000 car all day long, right?
Right.
Yeah, scams. Obviously. But she was hook, line, and sinker and had already sent them money 2 times and still hadn't received her car.
So I'll give you some quick statistics. This year's top fraud, again, being last year, 2017, is imposter scams with nearly 350,000 reports. Nearly 1 in 5 people who reported an imposter scam lost money. A whopping $328 million lost to someone pretending to be a loved one in trouble, a government official, tech support, or someone else who's not what they say they are.
Right.
But they want your money. There were fewer debt collection reports in 2017, 23% of all the reports, but it's still the top category by a wide margin, followed by identity theft.
Wow.
For everyone who reported identity theft, credit card fraud tops the list and continues to grow. Of the 1.1 million people who reported fraud, 21% told us they lost a total of more than $950 million. That's 63 million more than 2016.
Wow.
And people reported that scammers mostly contacted them by phone, and they mostly paid for frauds, once again, by wire transfer. And the median losses tell an interesting story. A $720 median fraud loss to scams that come in by phone, $1,700 median loss related to travel, vacations, and timeshares. So there's an area you want to watch out for. And one stat I thought was very interesting. My wife liked this one. So amount of money lost and number of reports by gender. So amount of money lost, 56% were by males, 42% were by females.
Huh.
However, the number of reports, males only reported 45% and females reported 53%. So females were recognizing them more and falling for them less.
I see.
Males were recognizing them less and falling for them more.
Wow.
So maybe there's something to a women's intuition.
Well, and there could be something about the greediness of men when women are a little bit more skeptical.
When we come back, what I'd like to end with is the science of why we fall for scams that are obviously scams.
Okay. We will absolutely do that. So really, again, just want to thank you for being on, Darryl, and sharing this valuable information. If you do want more information about some of the scams that are going on out there, I have resources available. I do want to let you all know, out of a 20-year history career in the Air Force, the last 10 of those years were in cybersecurity with the Air National Guard out of McGee-Tyson. And so we can definitely shed some light and give you some information. I have have computer people and finance people at my disposal to help you identify those scams. If you think you're being scammed, call somebody, report it, and let's make sure you keep your money where you want it to be. Come back for more right after a word from my sponsors. I'm Jason Murphy, your host, right here on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Protecting your home or business is important to you. That's why you might invest in an advanced security system or make sure you have the strongest locks on the market. But what are you doing about the sun? That big yellow ball of fire is shooting UV rays through your windows that can fade furniture and increase your energy costs. Fortunately, the Window Tint Company in Cookeville can provide you with a championship-level solution, offering multiple lines of window film for any need. The Window Tint Company is the Upper Cumberland's expert when it comes to protecting your home or business from blinding glare or damaging UV rays. And you'll still be able to admire those beautiful Middle Tennessee sunrises and sunsets. When you're ready to protect your home or business from the sun, give Jason and Susie with the Window Tint Company a call at 931-510-0830. That's 931-510-0830. Visit CookevilleWindowTintCompany.com to learn more or request an estimate.
Hey, this is Jason Murphy from Money in Motion. Let me talk to you a little bit about my good friend Joey Smith of Smith's Insulation. Did you know that Smith's Insulation has been around since 1977? They provide insulation for new construction and on existing homes. They are certified by the TVA as a weatherization contractor. That means that you could actually get a rebate for improving the efficiency of your home. I greatly encourage you to call Smith's Insulation for all your insulation needs, whether it be for commercial builds or new or existing residential. I have used Smith's Insulation for both and can tell you that I was extremely pleased with the service, the quality, and the energy efficiency they provided. To find out more information about Smith Insulation, go to smithinsulationtn.net. That's smithinsulationtennessee.net.
646-5519. Those numbers may not mean a whole lot to you right now, but you're going to want to write this number down. My name is Jennifer. My husband and I, we're frugal people. While we like to get a lot of value for our money, to say the least, we stretch every dollar. So last year, we decided that we wanted to refinance a mortgage on our house. We did our research, and that's when I met Barbara Steeving. Her official title is loan officer. She's not just thorough, not just thoughtful. She actually anticipated my family's needs throughout the whole process of the refinance. And trust me, folks, when I say they were tricky needs. She was just amazing. Can't say enough about it. By the time the process was over, I called her my friend. You can be friends with Barbara. All you need to do is go to Willow Avenue in Cookeville next to Jackson Plaza and go into First Volunteer Bank and tell my friend Barbara Steeving that you're there to save money, and she will do it for you. The number is 646-5519. So stop by First Volunteer Bank and see Barbara Steeving.
Member FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, right there on the square next to Poets. Stop by and see me for all your investment advice needs. I'm talking today with my business partner, my mentor, and someone that I hope to be able to fill his shoes someday when he decides to step down. But we're looking 15, 20 years out. But Darryl Philips, an amazing money manager, an amazing man of God, and a good personal friend as well, is helping us discuss some scams that are out there to help you avoid and protect your money and resources. So we're going on to the science, Darryl, of why people fall for this. Go ahead.
Right. Let's talk about the science of why we fall for these scams. Intelligence alone isn't sufficient protection from a scam. Anyone with a heart, with a family, or with common desires or insecurities can be victimized by the sophisticated mind games used by today's fraudsters. We pay attention to information that supports our beliefs and ignore what doesn't. Their expertise in amateur psychology is the foundation of their success in ripping people off.
Wow.
In order to protect yourself, it's wise to understand exactly how people get played. So here's some common scenarios that leave consumers especially vulnerable to scams. I call this one desperate desire. Mm-hmm. People who are lonely or eager to make a quick buck are highly likely to fall for online dating scams and money-winning scams. When people feel like something they desire deeply is impossible to possess through their own efforts, they are especially susceptible to believe that destiny or some magic stroke of luck will come to the rescue. The technical term for this scenario is external locus of control. And the hallmark is a belief that nearly everything that happens in life is beyond one's personal control. When you feel this way, you're apt to put your fate in the hands of other people, like a mysterious Facebook suitor or a Nigerian prince with loads of cash. This one I call tech support for those who need it most. What do the IRS, computers, and our legal system have in common? They're murky. Most people don't understand how they work.
Right.
But they do understand the potential consequences of a misunderstanding are high. That's why when a scammer calls to fix a computer problem or help with a neglected court summons, many people stop and listen. What they hear is horrifying. Jail sentences, dead computers, massive fines are in their future if they ignore the scammer's solutions. Panic sets in, prompting instinct to override rational thinking. The natural urge to avoid loss, blame, and shame also kicks in, and people feel compelled to want to make the supposed problem go away as quickly as possible. And like me, and who therefore lack confidence when trouble arises, are also likely victims because there's a tendency to trust anyone who seems to know more than you do. In this scenario, it's easy to believe that fraudsters are saving you rather than scamming you.
Right. The common factor I'm seeing, Darryl, is fear, is what they're just striving to.
Yeah, human nature.
Right.
This one I call super scammers. So here's a couple of techniques used by super scammers. The standard fraud playbook is to create a sense of urgency, which elevates emotions and decreases rationality. Scammers often warn of deadlines to force action. They don't want to give you the potential victim time to think things over or discuss the situation with others.
Right.
And placing the decision directly in the victim's hands can be especially effective. It elevates a person's sense of responsibility, and this way scammers take advantage of our good nature. Understanding how you are vulnerable is the first line of defense against scammers. All of the scam victims I've spoke with wish they'd taken one simple step to avoid getting conned.
Right.
They all said they should have discussed what was happening with a sister, spouse, friend, or some other trusted ally, a lot like my friend did last week.
Right.
This truly is the best advice to avoid being victimized. It decreases emotionality as you're forced to relay the scenario in a rational manner. It provides you with a second and hopefully logical opinion, and it allows the would-be victim to get out from under the full sense of responsibility for the decision. It also gives you more time to think and perhaps Google the scenario that's been dumped in your lap. Your search may quickly reveal that it's a common scam. Fraudsters are constantly thinking of new ways to con us, often using our most human needs, vulnerabilities, and inherent kindness against us. Let's disappoint them. The next time someone calls from the IRS, which is itself a red flag because the IRS never reaches out by phone, or when someone cold calls you and asks to remotely access your computer, ask if their mother knows that they're stealing for a living. Then hang up on them. And remember the old adage, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Probably is. That's right. That's exactly right. So we still have some more time, Darryl. So are there any other scams or situations that you've actually encountered or that you have examples of?
You know, since we have a little extra time, I just heard this on one of the news stations a couple weeks ago, and we're bombarded on the phone. For me, literally daily.
Right.
And I'm able to ignore most of those.
Right.
But they had a neat little commentary about that on one of the news channels on how to stop that I wasn't aware of. And you can go to WSMV and Google robocalls, and you'll find what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But it's titled "Want to Stop Robocalls, Telemarketers, and Scammers," and here's how. Both AT&T and Verizon, they actually offer free apps to identify calls, so you know if a telemarketer is calling. T-Mobile and Sprint offer low-cost monthly services that do the same. They did a survey and used 4 viewers emailed in their favorites, and they preferred a handful. No Mo Robo was $1.99 a month. That was the most expensive. The most common was RoboKiller, which was 99 cents a month.
Okay. And
I did a little research on it. I really liked what I seen. So they went on to say, if you really truly want revenge, the News 4i team found you may want to consider RoboKiller. Not only does it block the calls, you can also send the calls to what's called answer bots.
Okay.
There are pre-recorded messages that makes the telemarketer or scammer believe they are talking to someone. For a good laugh, check out how it works, and it gives the address, the website address, #radio, where you can listen to some of the recordings. At the very least, you'll find some joy in knowing you've done your part to ruin their call. So, from what I understand, it's over 90% effective for 99 cents a month to deter all those calls to the robo-bot.
Man, that sounds like an option I'm ready to get involved with. So, do you have one more?
We went over common scams and frauds. I picked out the top 8. There's naturally several more. What we didn't have time to talk about is some banking scams, ticket scams. I hear a lot about people getting frauded, trying to get tickets to games, to concerts and so forth. So watch out for that. Pyramid schemes. We didn't talk a lot about that, but that was just completely heartbreaking if you really knew and paid attention to and knew how deep that scam ran in Sparta, how it affected so many people, and to what extent they were affected.
So the Gentry thing was basically a pyramid scheme? Is that essentially what it was?
It was, and he's been convicted. And I won't go into all those details. It's behind us now.
Right.
But
fortunately, I don't have enough money that I was targeted.
Well, it just goes back to, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Right, and that's the point of this story. If it sounds too good to be true, but you're still tempted, get a second opinion. Call Diamond Financial Group and run this by a professional if it's finance related. Get a hold of my friend Chris Sapp with the Computer Doctor if it's computer related. If they're telling you something's wrong with your computer, take it to a computer expert. So we just wanted to offer some advice and some words of wisdom to protect you. So I encourage you to just seek the advice. Use Google. It can be your friend. And that's all the time we have for today. Darryl, I want to thank you for being here and spending some time with us, sharing some of these scams and potential scams, because they don't have to be scams. They don't have to ruin your world. So thank everybody for listening to Money in Motion. I'm your host, Jason Murphy from Diamond Financial Group, and you've been listening to News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub.
Advisory services are offered through Creative Financial Designs Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, and securities are offered through CFD. Investments Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member of FINRA and SIPC. 765-453-9600. Diamond Financial Group is not associated with the CFD companies.